everybody, it's me again, MJ in the kitchen. Today I'm going to let you have a little secret that I've kept with me for many years throughout my career. I've never told anybody my pastry recipe, and it's the best ever. Once you've done this pastry, you'll never look back. Even those of you that can't or won't make pastry, you can do this, believe me. So first of all, you need a big bowl. If you haven't got one, use your washing up bowl as long as you've cleaned it out. You need 2 blocks of margarine, just cheap blocks, the cheapest you can get, but it's got to be a block, and half a block of lard. You dice it up. Let me just move the camera over so you can see. You dice it up into little bits like that, square, and it has to be at more or less room temperature, just so that you can squeeze it between your fingers, like so. And I'll show you how I've done that. You slice down that way, 4 or 5 lines, turn it over and slice down the other, turn it round and then cube it. Okay, there we go, all into cubes and into the flour, which is 4 cups, any mug that you've got, that more or less mug size, and plain flour. Tesco's I buy. Are you listening, Tesco's? I might get some freebies. And then with your hands you just mix it into the flour, squashing it into the flour. And the reason I said you need a big bowl, because you need to be down on it. So it's in the sink, and just go down on it and keep mixing it into the flour like so, squashing it. And always wear gloves. You can get them from any of the hardware stores like B&M. I get mine from Home Bargains, because when you make pastry, obviously it goes into your nails. And I remember a lady once saying to me, "Oh yeah, I just love making pastry. Gets your nails right nice and clean." Yuck, I thought to myself, because bacteria, even though your nails, you think your nails are clean, there's a lot of bacteria underneath, and you don't really want it in your pastry. Well, I certainly don't. Right, so when you've done that, just sort of combining it in, you'll see it sort of grabbing the flour. You don't want it into a crumble. So if I just show you this, it needs to be chunks of the fat still in it. Don't worry about it. Then you need some cold water. Let it run for a minute or 2. Now this is the tricky bit. But if you listen carefully, I can't tell you how many mils, how many ounces. You have to feel it. So normally it will probably take the same amount of water as a cup, but depending on the temperature of the day, it might need a little bit less. So if it's in warmer weather, you'll need less liquid. So you have to feel it. So just put a little bit in at a time and move it round, pulling it together. getting all the crumbs in. That needs a little bit more. And you just, on your other occasions, just put a little tiny bit in, so you don't put too much water in. Bringing it together, like so, tiny bit more. And I mean, when tiny, I mean just a trickle, and that's enough. So you bring it all together with your hand. Oh, and make sure that you put some flour on your top before you empty it out. Normally I always forget, and then you end up with this, and that all goes over the flour bag. So just sprinkle it over the top here, empty it out onto the top. Like so. Try not to drop it on the floor. Keep gathering it up. There we go. Squash it down. There we go. And basically, that's it. Bring it together. Get it off your hands as much as you can. Bring it all together like that into a big mound. You see, you can feel it in your hands, the texture is soft. Scrape that off. Get some more flour on the side there. Forgotten to get my rolling pin out. See, this is what I do. Forget to get my things out. So disorganised. And then we get a rolling pin. And this is another good instrument, your pastry scraper. So you'll end up with no gooey cloths. Separate the pastry in half. Gather that half together. And with some flour, you'll see that when you roll it out, so we start rolling it out along here, bit of flour on top, and just roll it down like that, and you'll see marblings of flour, of marge and lard. Don't worry yourself, just keep rolling, turning it round, making sure and there you go. You can see how it's all marbled. Bring you a bit closer. I need somebody here to be videoing me really. Then fold it over that way, and then bring that one together like so. Fold that over that, so now you've got like a block. Turn it round that way, so that's the open bit. Fold it over and fold it over, fold it over again, and then roll it out again a bit more, turning it like that. And keep going. And then if you want to, you can roll it out once more, fold it over again and again. It's a bit like making puff pastry really, but only the easier way. And I call it flaky pastry, rough puff actually. So then you can use it like this, but there's still a bit of margin there, so I'll roll it once more. And you'll feel it getting a bit tighter because the gluten in it, but that doesn't matter, you can let it rest while you're doing the other one. You see how smooth that's going now? And then again, and then just leave that on the side, ready to use. So then you do the same again with the other half, and then by the time you've done that one, this one's ready to use, and I'll show you what to do with it in my next recipe. Speak to you soon. Bye. Have a nice day.